everyone, it's Jenny again. Thank you for watching my channel. If you're new, welcome. So today what we're going to talk about is my recent trip to Mexico. I actually went to Mexico City in January, and I have to say it was one of the most amazing trips I've taken. So if you've never been to Mexico, please put it on your bucket list. Specifically Mexico City, put it on your bucket list. It's a place you want to go to. It's so much fun. So I originally wanted to travel. I was thinking about traveling. Started thinking about traveling in November. I couldn't get Christmas off or New Year's off, so then I was like, okay, well I have to figure out another time. And for some reason, I was watching YouTube, like how most of my ideas come from. They come from YouTube. Anyways, I was watching YouTube, and I came across Mark Wiens. I don't know if you know who Mark Wiens is. He's a video blogger. He's a blogger, but he talks about food. And I came up across his Mexico City food tour. And literally I watched it and I was like, that's it, that's what I want to do. I want to do exactly what Mark Wiens did. So what I did, I was like, hey, we're going to Mexico City. So I was looking at flights and everything. I was looking at times. Best time to go, obviously the summer is nice, but it's more expensive. Flight-wise, January is really cheap. And that's why I got my ticket in January, because it's their, I would say it's their winter. Yeah, it's their winter, like ours. So I chose January because it was cheap. And supposedly it's one of those ones that it rains a lot in Mexico City. But while I was there, it did not rain at all. So I would 100% go again in January. Even if it rained a lot, I don't care. I would still go in January just because it was so cheap. And my flight was $300 round trip. Not bad at all. Actually, no. My flight and my hotel round trip a week was $400. That's crazy. And that's why I would recommend going to Mexico, is because it's so cheap there. So I decided I was going to go to Mexico City and do everything that Mark Wiens did. So eat everywhere he did. So what I did, I watched this video one more time. I wrote down every place that he said, and I looked them up to see where they were. And for the majority, I actually did a lot of what I did. I literally went to everywhere he ate, which is amazing. Their food is so good. Mostly Mexico City, because it's so diverse. There's foods coming from everywhere of Mexico. Tacos from everywhere in Mexico. They're all so different. There's the canasta, there is like the seafood tacos. Everything is just delicious in Mexico City. I would 100% recommend, if you're such a foodie, that's the place to go. One thing, and because it's so cheap, you can eat a really nice meal for like $10 at most. A really nice meal. I went to a really nice restaurant, like really fancy restaurant, and I spent $20 there, including tips, tax, and drinks and everything. $20, and it was a fancy seafood restaurant, so 100% would recommend. Another thing I would recommend before you go is trying to see if you can exchange cash, your money, the US dollars, here in a bank. They have pretty good exchange rates, and that's why I say that, because when you go to this Mexico City, when you go to the airport, you can exchange it, but the rates are not as good. So if you can, do it. If not, that's fine. You can do it there. It's fine. Another thing is I would recommend is getting international cell service for Mexico. If you have T-Mobile, cool. I think when I went with my brother, he got the T-Mobile one where you pay $5 a month and you get Mexico international everything. I unfortunately didn't have that, and I didn't want to spend so much money. So what I did was, when I got to Mexico, I ended up at the airport. What you can do, they have a bunch of like telephone stores. What you could do is ask them for a SIM, or like a chip. And so you pay for it. It's 100 pesos, which is what, 20 pesos is $1, so $5. I spent $5 on communication. So I use that to be able to get around, use maps, Yelp things, Google things. And so it's easier. And then I can call numbers there, and it didn't run on my bill. If you travel in Mexico, you can do public transportation, which is one way you can get around, but I'm so bad at public transportation in general. I always get lost. I always tend to get the right number the wrong way, always. So I didn't want to do that in Mexico City. I actually got around with Uber, and it was dirt cheap. Like I could it was a 45-minute Uber ride, and I'm not kidding, it was $5. So why not? There was those fee. I did have to pay a couple cents here for my bank, the conversion. It was like 5 cents or 10 cents for converting the currency, but whatever. It just made it so much easier. They'd pick you up from where you ended and they'll drop you off where you go. And it was really nice talking to the Uber drivers because they would also recommend things so you could do it as a tourist. Like, oh, go to here, go to this place. Oh, you got to go eat this place. It was really nice to get to know the culture in that aspect and getting to know the people and getting to get their suggestions by Uber driving everywhere. So one thing I would say is do your research on where you're staying. There are pockets of Mexico City that are considered dangerous. With that being said, those pockets don't tend to have hotels for tourists. So just letting you know, but you always want to check it. I stayed in Polanco, which is one of that I know of. It's probably the safest in Mexico City because it's really rich area. They have beautiful condos there, beautiful homes, like Beverly Hills mansion homes there. And I stayed in Polanco, and it was pretty inexpensive. They have actually big hotels there too. They have like the Marriott, Hyatt. They have all those hotels there if you want to stay at one of those. I stayed at one of the local hotels, and it was equally as nice. Okay, you cannot go to Mexico City if you don't go to Teotihuacan, which is the ruins around there. This is the one place I would say don't get it online. Don't get your tour online. And this is why. When you stay at your hotel, they actually have relationships with tour guides that have their little shuttle buses that actually do it. And it's actually much cheaper to do it through them than to do it online, first off. Second off, also online, when you order it online, sometimes you have to meet these people, the shuttles at a certain place, like, hey, we're all going to meet here, and from here we're going to go. If you do it through your hotel, they pick you up, the shuttle will pick you up from your hotel and drop you off at your hotel. So for me, that worked out nicely. So when we got there, we asked the receptionist at the hotel, hey, do you know of any shuttle services that can take us to Teotihuacan in a tour guide? And she said, yeah, there is. She just asked us when we wanted to go. And we told her the date, and she's like, okay, we'll be out here in the lobby 8 a.m. So when the date came up, we were like, okay, we got there 8 a.m. The tour guide walked in, talked to the receptionist. The reception let us know we were waiting, and then we were introduced. We went on the shuttle, and so that tour guide, the shuttle passes through several different hotels. So there was about 5 hotels that he stopped at. He spoke English and Spanish, which was really nice for a lot of the tourists that didn't speak Spanish. And he didn't actually only take us to Teotihuacan. I actually thought he was only he's gonna drive us there, tell us what was there, and that was it. No, quite contrary. He took us to 2 different places before we got there. He took us to this historical place where a lot of students were massacred for being a protest. I can't remember the name of it, but oh, it's gonna bother me. If I remember the name, I'll write it down on the link. And then he told us the history behind all of it. And then he took us to another place, told us the history behind all of that. Then he took us, there's these art galleries right next to Teotihuacan. He took us to one of them where they actually do the stone arts and carvings and everything like that. They end up giving us a tequila taste. So not only did they do the tequila tasting, they did the pulque tasting. I don't know if you know what pulque is. It's basically from the inside of the agave. It's the same. Okay, so it comes from the same plant but a different area, and it tastes so much different from tequila. So it was really nice to get to know. Not only did we learn the history behind how they make tequila and pulque, but we also got to taste different ones and kind of understand the different tastes of it. And it was really fun. So I was surprisingly excited to have that experience. And then they ended up taking us to Teotihuacan, where there's 2 big ruins. And actually, you can climb both. Just make sure you're in shape for it, because I was like breathing so hard going up with them. I don't know what it was. I just was not having it that day. But it was really fun, really an amazing experience. And you can see so far into the horizon once you get on top of them. It's just crazy amazing how all this architecture was preserved from so many years back. And it's just amazing how they were able to colonize, and it's just crazy the history behind all of it. So I would definitely recommend that 100%. While you're in Mexico City, another thing I would recommend that you have to do is going to the Frida Kahlo Museum. It is beautiful. Basically, the museum is in the living quarters where Frida Kahlo and Diego used to live. And it's beautiful. It's one of those things that all tourists go there. So it could be kind of, I mean, it's a little pricey to go there, but a lot of people don't know this. That admission also gives you free admission to the Diego Museum. So all you have to do is, what I did, I went to Frida Kahlo early in the morning, and then afterwards I got an Uber to the Diego Museum, and I went to his museum. By far, his museum was stunning. I cannot believe it, how many people don't go there because they don't know about it. He has a huge collection of artifacts from the Aztecs, from the Mayans. He has so much historic art from the past that he collected while he was alive. And he also has pictures, like, you can look at it's just amazing. It's just breathtaking how amazing it is. And he designed it. So it's made out of stone. You walk in, it's so fresh inside. And within the stone, there's so much detail in it. You walk and you look up and there's always a different image on top of the ceiling. Every single chamber you go to. By far, that made my trip. And I would recommend you going to that because not only are you going to the Frida Kahlo Museum, but you get to go to his museum for the same price. Why not? It's a little bit annoying to get there because it's up a hill somewhere, but just Uber. Just Uber there. It's gonna be worth it. I'm telling you, I just can't even describe it. It's just that good. You just need to go. The one thing I'm disappointed that I did not get to do was go to the Michelin star restaurant in Mexico City, which is called Pujol, Pujol. I found out about it, I would say, a month before I was gonna go, and so I looked up reservations, and unfortunately the reservations are pretty booked. But what I read from there, it's just such an experience. It's like, I think I remember it was 133 or 233, something like that, dollars. But it's an experience. It's like a very good experience of what Mexico food represents, but in an artistic manner. And that's the one thing I would recommend if you already have a trip and if you have a trip planned to Mexico City, get that reservation. I would 100% recommend for you to go there. I didn't get to go, but I wish I could have gone because I just already think it would have been an amazing experience getting there. When you go to Mexico City, I would recommend you walk. So wear comfortable shoes. There are so many places to go walking. There's so many museums to go see, and there's so many things to do. There's just a lot of museums and things to do around there, a lot of food to eat. There's just so many things to explore in Mexico City, and I would do it 100% all over again. Even like the week that I was there, I don't think it was enough time to do everything, but please put on your bucket list to go to Mexico City because it's such an amazing place. First off, there's so much rich history in it, and second off, it's so inexpensive to go, and it's such an easy trip because it's only like 3 hours away from LA. So if you have any questions about my trip to Mexico City, please comment down below. If you like this, please subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you next time. Bye.